I literally had no idea how to like clump my curls the way you clumped them like that. That was like, oh my gosh, where have I been? Hiding under an Instagram rock?
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel where I have been challenged. So many of you have requested to see what my styling techniques look like on really fine and long hair, and we're gonna bring it to you. I'm so excited to welcome a very special guest. She's also a content creator as well as a cosmetic scientist. She's an entrepreneur. She is the founder of Bounce Curl. Please welcome Merian. Hi, Merian. This is Miss Herbal Mo herself. Merian, we are so excited to have you.
Thank you. I am too.
Merian's got her own styling techniques that she likes to do.
I usually used to style my hair upside down. As we're getting older, my back started to hurt after I had a baby. Mel and Amanda have actually inspired me to start styling my hair upright. And I finally figured a way to do my fine textured upright.
We're really excited. I want to see your technique, which we'll share on one half of your head, and on the other half of your head we'll compare my styling technique, which we've kind of coined as the ribbon curls technique. It's another brush styling technique, also done upright, so it doesn't break the back, but it definitely pops the curls. The challenge is you have fine hair. So we want to make sure that we have nice volume. We're going to talk about what products we're going to be using in order to get the volume. The full side-by-side coming to you in a few. So without further ado, stay tuned and let's get to it.
Yes.
All right, Merian, talk to me about your hair, this length, this texture. What is your goal here?
So my goal is always to have volume. I actually have a hair cream in my hair, which was from yesterday. And as you can see, it's flat and oily looking. Curl pattern is disturbed now. It's very, very soft. So what I would like to do is kind of give it some root lift and style with a gel today. Because you need hold. It's so, it feels so soft. That's what I like to say. If you think of hair as a fiber, as a texture, fine hair is like silk. It's got shine to it because your hair is very healthy. Like your hair is not just fine, but it's also low porosity. So I feel like it doesn't absorb too much product. Yeah.
Not even low porosity. You're like a medium porosity gal.
Yeah, I'm medium only because I'm a cosmetic formulator, so I'm constantly cleansing my hair too much, too often, trying out my formulas, and so that kind of gave me a little bit of porosity there.
The more you wash your hair, the more water you put on your hair, the more you cleanse it, the more you do to it, the more your porosity increases. Plus, this hair down here has been on your head for so long. It's endured all of the elements, so it's going to be a higher porosity towards the ends as opposed to the top. So we need to think about that when we're applying products, because on the ends they might be a little bit drier, but if we put too much cream or too much moisture, you will lose all volume. It'll be completely flat, and you notice that your hair does get oily really fast. You have an oily scalp. When I look at your hair now, I'm seeing that we kind of just need to reset. We're going to do a good clarifying shampoo, and then we're going to go in with some different styling techniques to get some volume and bounce and keep the routine as well, the products that we use, to a minimum, because when you have fine hair and you have a medium density of hair, you don't need a lot. Considering the length, considering you don't color treat, you don't usually heat style, do you?
Never.
You don't do any of those things. We don't need to put a lot to your hair. The more you do to your hair, the more products you have to use to kind of heal it, treat it, kind of mask the damage that happens underneath. For you, we want to bring out natural body, try to enhance the volume, enhance the root lift, and define your curls without weighing them down. Right?
Perfect. Yes.
So let's do it. But the first step is to really soak the hair. You want to rinse off as much as you possibly can. We're going to go in with a clarifying shampoo. I'm going to first put this in my hand. By applying it in your hand, especially since we're going to be making a concoction, you're really able to target to where you need it on your hair. So I'm going to mix in some of the Tumeric hair detox mask, and I'm going to emulsify these in my hands. And this is something that you do when you need a heavy duty cleanse. We're going to distribute along her scalp. Do not forget underneath your neck nape area. A lot of people do, and then their scalp is really oily, flaky, and even be very irritated there as well. Once the product has been applied, you can take a little bit of water. You want to trickle that over and then start working it in. When you're washing every other day or so, you might not have to use 2 shampoos. As you can see here, we're using 2 different types of cleansers to come together to create a really clarifying shampoo that's not going to overly strip her hair or dry it out, because we don't have to go in twice to remove buildup. The Tumeric Detox Mask is really going to help break everything down. And we're just going to let this sit on the hair actually for about 5 minutes to get a proper detoxification. I'm going to work this through her ends as well. Anytime that you're going for a style that you want a lot of volume in the hair, you want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to be weighing it down from your previous looks. So don't be shy to shampoo your ends every once in a while.
I haven't had a wash in so long like this. I'm like, oh, it feels so good. My husband's lucky. He gets this all the time.
I say that about all my loved ones. They're all so lucky to have me. And then you can go ahead and rinse this completely out. You do not want to leave any shampoo on your scalp because it will get irritated. So we're going to go in with the Bounce Curl Super Smooth Cream Conditioner. This has organic aloe and safflower oil. Where you place the conditioner is also super important. We're not going to put this anywhere near your roots, which are already super soft. If you do use something really drying, sometimes it's necessary to put some conditioner near your roots. Maybe you apply it by brushing your product through. You always start at your ends, and then whatever is left over on the brush, it'll reach the top. You'll get a nice little gentle conditioning on the roots. But otherwise, I'm not going anywhere near your scalp even with this, because I don't want to take away from any volume. But because your ends are old, they've been through a lot, I do want to make sure that we have enough conditioner here. So we'll just work this in and then get to styling. All right, now Merian, we do have a bit of an issue. It's always my issue when doing side-by-side comparison, and that is that we do want to split the hair, divide it down the middle. But do you wear your hair in the middle?
I don't. I wear it on the side.
Yeah, we wear it on the side.
It's okay.
And the middle part really doesn't do much for volume, so we are being extra tested. It's fine. For the side-by-side comparison purposes, we are going to style down the middle.
Okay.
I am so sorry for you. We gotta do what we gotta do. They do say that beauty is pain, am I right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, you let me know if I am giving you any pain while styling your hair. I'm using your brushes. These are all Bounce Curl brushes, which are so cute. I have to say, I love the color.
Yeah, so they're not made out of plastic. They're made out of PLA, so they biodegrade in a landfill. But the color is from our treatment line, Mint.
Yes, I do love the mint. I am a color girly. And because I know you guys are mint, I want it to pop in orange.
Yeah.
We're feeling it. We're feeling the vibes. We're actually in the Bounce Curl headquarters in Arizona.
Most people don't know that we're in Arizona, but we're out here in the desert.
You're in the desert, so you do deal with really dry air, which can result in really dry hair and dry scalp. But again, your struggle is too much moisture. Like one wrong product on your hair or too much of one thing and your hair is gonna have no volume and be super flat. Yeah. So what is the one product that you reach for that you know is gonna give you kind of everything you need out of your styling?
For my fine textured hair that is healthy, our light hold gel works really, really well for that. And most people can't just style with just the gel. Most people have dyed their hair, damaged their hair, so we always recommend some sort of cream. But if you have fine texture, always just literally use a pea-size amount. Like I could just use 1 pea-size amount of cream in all my hair and I'll be okay.
Absolutely. When I'm doing hair, and especially on myself, who also has kind of fine textured hair, fine to medium texture of hair, because my hair has a higher porosity, if there is higher porosity in the hair, you need a cream to kind of fill in the cracks of the cuticle and give you more smoothness and softness and a longer lasting style, because your hair will be able to retain its moisture longer. But for you, we're gonna go in with the light hold gel, which I've also been using for a long time. Now, I'd love you to tell me when to stop. Okay. How much product do you usually like to apply? Remember, we're only applying it to 1/2 of your head first.
So I usually split my hair in 3 sections and put a 1/4 size of gel in each section. So I would say about 1/4 1/2.
Okay, beauty. Like that.
That's good.
1/4 1/2, beauty. We'll take this.
I just rake it through.
We're gonna let mama sit today. You're just gonna enjoy your hair day. Now that it's been detangled and rinsed, it's actually really smooth. And even with the gel. If I put just gel in my hair, no. It's gonna be dry. So you style the back first. You start from the back to the front.
Yep.
Does your hair feel wet enough? Because I wanna make sure that we have enough moisture in the hair when styling.
Yeah, I think so.
One of the things when styling fine hair, if it is too dry and you're brush styling, it's not gonna have enough moisture to kind of bounce back up again. So you do wanna make sure that the hair is thoroughly saturated with water from root to tip. If it's too dry, one, it will be a little bit fluffy, but yeah, you won't get the definition, and we want the definition. We're gonna make sure that there's no tangles in the hair.
This technique is kind of similar to styling upside down, so I'll literally brush it up like this.
All right, so we brush straight up, and then we'll take volume comb, and you brush all the way through from root to tip as well.
Yeah, and it's not gonna lay right, but eventually it will lay right.
Well, you can see in the scalp area, there's a lot of lift there.
Yeah.
It's like you had styled upside down, but you're not gonna get as much matting because you're doing it in sections, right? Sectioning it is gonna be super, super important. You know, when you are flipping upside down, it's hard to do your hair in sections.
Yeah.
So this is gonna give you the volume of that with the separation of styling upright. You get the best of both worlds. So we'll take down our next section. Now, do you brush this all the way forward in front of your face or just straight up?
Straight up and a little bit tilted towards my face.
Okay. We're always over directing the hair off of, you know, the natural way that it falls out of the head. This type of styling applies to any time you're styling hair. Not just styling curly hair, but also when we're doing blow dries and things like that. Anytime you want maximum root lift, you want to over direct the hair in the opposite direction from how it's going to fall and lay and just sit naturally. You know, we want every last hair on the scalp. Make sure you give it a really good brush. If you smooth things through really well, which is easy to do with this brush.
This one is a mixture of a vegan boar bristle and kind of like a regular bristle. And so it will kind of give you that smoother. It'll just be a little bit smoother on your hair.
It's going to catch every single last hair, which is really going to help to smooth down any frizz or any little flyaways into the hair. Which of course then we go to break up with the volume comb. The volume comb, we use that to get the separation. That way your curls aren't just clumped into the same section. That's going to completely take away from all of your volume, right?
Yeah, so I love the clumped look, but I have a little bit of hair. I don't have really thick hair, so I can't get away with too much clumps.
Now, you don't not have a lot of hair. You have a decent amount of hair. I would say you have medium density, but because the strands are so baby fine, it does not look like you have as much hair as, let's say, our sister. If you guys know Amanda, like in last week's video, she shared her hair routine. Oh, it's night and day from what we're doing here because she has coarser hair, high density of it, color treated. She uses variety of products. Quite the opposite. Yeah. If you resonate more with her, then you might want to watch that routine after this one. But I'm super excited to finish off the last section of your up forward method. How do you do the front? Take it away. Let me step to the side.
All right, so this one I'll brush up like this. And then you also want to get the back as well. And then you'll separate with the comb. It can get tricky when you have long hair.
That can be very tricky when you have long hair for sure.
Yeah. So then what I'll do is I'll scrunch my hair.
Do you add any extra product when you're scrunching in your hair?
Yeah, we can add a little bit.
Okay. So we'll take a little bit more of the light cream gel. Do you ever mix it with some water to kind of like get a runnier texture? What do you usually do?
No, it's
just
already...
scrunch it in like that.
Yeah.
Your hair is already nice and wet, so you don't need to add anything.
No.
That technique though,
I don't have
from the bottom. So important to scrunch from the bottom up. And I love how you just touched up a couple pieces. Once you are sitting upright, then you can start to see if something doesn't look right. You want to touch it up now while the hair is still wet before you finish setting it, so that way it dries really nice, right?
Yeah.
Lovely. Looks beautiful. Now it's my turn to show off. You know, not that it's a competition or anything, but you'll see that we get very different results. I love a chunky, clumpy curl look, but we still want volume. And I'm going to turn you a little bit to show everybody how we're going to achieve that. Although if you have been watching, this is the technique you see me doing all of the time. Well, just to show people that you can use a cream, and since I usually do, we will apply just a little bit of cream on my side.
Okay.
And I'll share how you don't need a lot.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach for one of my favorite leave-in conditioners, your Moisture Balance leave-in conditioner. It's honestly amazing. I'm just gonna take, would you say that's even too much?
No, that's
good. Pea size. pea size is all we're gonna need size, okay? We're gonna really emulsify it in the hands first. This is a great tip, especially if you struggle with applying too much product, because it kind of gets like really creamy and white, and then you can see where you apply it on the hair. And we're just gonna apply it right on the ends where she does kind of deal with some dryness.
Were you able to feel my dryness at the ends?
Yeah, your ends a little bit.
I need a haircut, that's why.
How long has it been since your last haircut?
I believe it was in November, so in March I need to get another one.
Yeah, you can go a long time in between your haircuts because one, you have really long hair, it doesn't grow out of its shape, and two, I mean, again, you don't color treat, you don't do much to your hair, so it stays okay, but fine hair does split faster than coarse hair. So you kind of do start to see split ends and some dryness towards the ends.
I see fairy knots.
The fairy knots. So what we're gonna do is separate the top horseshoe of your hair. So that's from the back of the crown to the front recession area. Your hairline doesn't really have a recession area. You have like just flawless oval Beyonce hairline. Nope. I mean, some people have a massive 5 head and some people have a 3 head. And you may be in the 3 head region, and some people say that's a blessing. I would consider it a blessing. Sometimes my forehead is shining bright like a diamond. And that is no hate to Rihanna. Who mentioned Rihanna and her 5 head? What are you guys even talking about? Rihanna is a stunning woman. And the more forehead, the better, sometimes. But Merian, I'm not saying that your small forehead is too much. What do I... You are so perfectly balanced. Is the hole dug? Can I just jump 6 feet deep into it? All right, I'm gonna stop and just get back to the demonstrating. Oh my, why am I like this? Back to the styling. If we're talking about the recession area and you want some demonstration, you can see the corners on my forehead. That is usually where we like to separate the hair. It's kind of above the eyebrow to the back of the crown. That's the top section, because the top area of your head grows very differently from the side and back. So now that we've sectioned that, and I've embarrassed myself, we're gonna wet everything down just a little bit. She has been sitting, so I'm gonna make sure that it's thoroughly damp, but the hair is not dripping. Water itself can weigh your hair down, right? So we don't want the hair to be too wet. Again, it just needs even saturation from root to tip. We've already applied that cream. Now for the look that I like, the ribbon curl, the juicy curl, I don't usually brush through a gel. So we're gonna be applying the gel after we define the curls. Not that you can't brush it through, especially since in your hair, your gel brushed through really easily. Again, a lot of people have that feeling, this feeling when they apply gel to their hair, where it can kind of like seize up, it can feel a little bit sticky. It's a feeling that is referred to as flash drying, and it's just like not a slippery, positive experience or feeling on the hair. So it makes it very difficult to brush gels through. So that's why I usually don't like to brush gels through. Okay. But maybe you can explain a little bit of why that is happening. Why does that happen? While I go in with my ribbon curls technique, which is, I mean, you will see it, styling vertically, taking vertical sections and styling out from the head on a 90-degree angle. So on the sides and back, you'll see that I'm doing it like this, and we'll switch it up for the top. But take it away, Merian. Let's get scientific.
So I see a lot of posts about gels not mixing with their creams, and also feeling some sort of flash dry feeling or a squeaky feeling when you put a gel on top of a cream. And a lot of gels on the market, including ours, is actually negatively charged, and so most creams are positively charged, and it could give that squeaky feeling. So our creams, it doesn't do that with our own brand, but it could do that with possibly somebody else's brand. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
And just for some background, our hair, especially damaged hair, is negatively charged.
Yeah.
When it comes to electric charges, opposites attract, right?
Yeah.
So that's why cationic things, which most conditioners are and creams are, they attract themselves to the negatively charged damaged sites in the hair, and it's what gives that like really nice and smooth feeling.
Yeah.
But it's not like that with anionic products.
Anionic gels, and there's a lot of them on the market. It's a lot, and every single one is just formulated differently. And you can also test this, but I personally don't like to do it this way, but people like to put cream on their hand and then they put a little bit of gel and they mix it together like that. I don't recommend really doing that one because you're not putting cream on your hand and then mixing gel and then mixing it, emulsifying it. You're actually putting cream on your hair first and then you're putting gel on it last. A lot of gels will actually curdle up, so I don't think that that's the best way to test it. I feel like the best way to test something like that is just put a little bit of cream in your hair and then a little bit of gel on top and see if it gives you that squeaky feeling. But just like Mel said, she doesn't like to brush in the gel. She likes to finish the gel because most gels are anionic, and she likes to finish or scrunch it in, which could be a really good technique if you guys have problems with flash drying. But most of the time it's probably a negatively charged ingredient in the gel. Some of those ingredients are pectin, carbomer, Irish sea moss, xanthan gum is also negatively charged. Yeah, so you can still make a gel with non-ionic ingredients, but they just don't work as well. So that's
they
why
don't feel as nice in the hair when you're brushing them through.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm so glad that you mentioned, I'm so glad that we're on the same page about the mixing in the hands, or even just cocktailing products, as people call it, and putting it in the hair. It's always better to layer your products.
Yes.
Let them do their thing on their own. The product was not made to be mixed together.
No.
Otherwise, it would have been made into one product.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Use products separately, layering, test things on the hair, not just in your hands.
Exactly.
Like skin and hair are completely different structures.
Yes. You're going to be missing out on a lot of great combinations if you do that.
And it's so important to hear it from an expert in the field, someone who really knows what they're talking about. You are constantly kind of upgrading your degree and your knowledge to make sure that you're constantly bringing people updated information, which is so important. I really look up to you for that. Continuing your education is super important, and that's why I'm doing my trichology degree right now.
It's never too late. I mean, I never thought I would be going back to school.
Knowledge is power, and brushes are powerful. I'm gonna touch up. You'll notice the area around the face is, I mean, that's the moneymaker. You know, look at this face. We want to highlight it with the best, most pop-in curls. So when I went in with the front section, I mean, you already have fine hair, but the hair around our front hairline is usually even finer than the rest on our head. And so sometimes you need to take a little extra care when styling it. I noticed that it's not quite curling the way I want it to around the front, so I am going to rebrush it in the opposite direction.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take some extra water, and I haven't applied any extra product. All your hair has right now is that pea-size amount of the moisture balance leave-in. And the first time I went around this section, I brushed it from the back. But when I look at your root, the curl kind of swooshes away and towards your face.
Okay.
So that's how we're gonna go in with the brush now. And I actually style my front sections the same way. Everyone is gonna be different because it just depends on how your curls are curling in that section. Angling forward, always pressing my hand to the brush. This motion helps to really press the curl to the brush, and it's what gives you that ribbon, the chunk. Also, the whole point of the ribbon curl technique, why it got its name, is it's like using scissors on a ribbon. Using that tension helps the curl to spring back. And so that is why we do that. Your curls look so super defined. Now that we have the definition in, we want to lock it in with the gel. I'm going to turn you a little bit, and if you can tilt to the side. So we're going to take the same amount of gel that you like to use. I'm going to use 1.5 cups amount. I like to spritz just a little bit of water into the gel just to kind of fix the consistency a little bit when I want to glaze it over the hair. I do want it to be nice and kind of liquidy. This is a very creamy kind of gel, which sometimes makes it easy to brush it in, but because I'm glazing it, I want something a little bit more liquidy. So I just add a little bit of water. Always glazing and not raking. We don't want to break up all these beautiful curl clumps that we have created. I mean, does the chemist agree with that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would. So if you're trying to glaze it, you want it to be more watery.
Yes,
so
and it's okay if we just add a little bit of water to the product. That being said, we don't want to put water in products, in the bottle.
Oh no.
No. You can add a little water to the product in your hand that you're going to be applying right then and there. But I mean, it's a recipe for disaster if you add water into the product, right? Now, if you accidentally feel like maybe I went a little overboard, what we're gonna do, pull up something new. Merian, what are these? What is this?
This is our custom made microfiber mittens.
Mittens?
Yes.
How cute are these?
So I custom made them to have multiple layers. So all you really need is just one scrunch and all that excess water. And sometimes if you put too much product, it'll remove it.
I'm gonna use it on my side. It actually, like the mitt is quite wet. It absorbed quite a bit. All of this is excess product that, I mean, your hair probably did not need. And it's because we had used a little bit more water on my side. And as you can see, all of these techniques we've done so far make a big difference. We haven't even dried the hair yet, and you can see more curl definition on the ribbon curl side, but a lot more separation on the up forward method side. Do you usually diffuse your hair?
Yeah.
That's what I usually do. And so we're gonna do the same kind of diffuse on both sides. Listen, we may have styled up right, but when it comes to diffusing, it's so helpful to flip upside down to get the most amount of lift in the hair, and kind of positioning or shaking the roots is really gonna help with that as well. And we're gonna go in with a high speed, but a medium to low heat, because with fine hair, you don't need as much heat, although we love the heat, especially in Arizona. I'm sure you guys do. We don't wanna use too much heat because high heat can cause more split ends and damage on fine hair, which is a lot more fragile. All right, so this is the hair dried, but it still has the gel cast. It's a little bit crunchy, still super flexible though. Once this is fully set, Merian, you were just saying that you kind of just let things kind of air dry for a minute.
Yeah, I just let it air dry. I go do a little bit of different things. And then after that, I will fluff my hair with my hands.
But you don't want to do that while the hair is so fresh, because I don't know, it might take away from some of the definition.
Yeah.
We've let everything kind of simmer for a minute. So you kind of let it air dry. It's already starting to expand a little bit more. I feel like you might have been playing with your hair because that cast is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
It's pretty much gone now.
I shook my head up and down.
You shook, you fluffed. I want you to show us how you kind of like to do that.
What I usually like to do, I go crazy with my hair because it's fine textured and frizz is okay for me. So I just start with the roots and I shake up, and then I start with the front of the roots and I just kind of try to separate a little bit like this. Volume, comb, and I do the same thing. I start from the roots, the back of the head. I'll kind of go in a row and go all the way around like this. And I pick up the hair sometimes and just fluff like that.
Will this create frizz?
Yes.
Absolutely. But that's kind of the point. Not all frizz is bad. Sometimes if your hair is really dry, it could be frizzy, and then that's not great frizz, but good frizz like this is what's gonna give us volume. So it's okay to fluff out and separate those chunks, which I mean on my side was pretty chunky, but look at it now.
So my side is definitely frizzier than Mell's side, for sure.
That good frizz.
It's that good frizz, so what I would say is her side will definitely last longer than my side. So tomorrow I'll wake up with a little bit more frizz on this side compared to her side. So it's really up to you guys, like what you guys really want to do. A lot of people want to extend their hair, so we're gonna try Mell's side on my own pretty soon.
I'd like to see it. This is how we do it, and it looks amazing. Both sides look amazing. There's a place for both sides. This, like you mentioned, it will last you longer. It'll hold on to the moisture longer, and the curls will kind of stay in there. It'll be defined for longer.
Yeah.
Did this side take a little bit longer to style than Merian's side? A little bit. You are taking smaller sections. You're being a little bit more meticulous, but I always say doing that due diligence now pays it forward, right? Yeah. You may not have to wash your hair the next day, hopefully, unless your scalp is oily. And in that case, you do what you have to do for your scalp health, okay? But that's a story for another video, okay? Thank you so much, Merian, for coming on the channel. Honestly, I look up to you. You are a beauty with brains,
Thank you.
stunning curls.
Yes.
I have to do your up forward method I will post that on the shorts. Make sure you check out Merian's short videos as well. She's also here on YouTube. She's on TikTok. She's all over, so you can go and see how she likes to do her techniques on herself. All of the products that we use that Merian made are going to be in the description box below. They are amazing. These are products I've been using for years, and I can't wait to see what you come out with next. You said you're coming out with more fine hair products.
Oh yes, so hopefully by the end of this year our fine hair light moisture products will be out, so I'm really excited about that.
Stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this has been your main girl with our special guest, and we are out. Peace!
Would you drop?
My phone. It's fine. We are so blessed to have you today, Miss Bounce Curl herself, Herbal MMO. How does that sound?
It's just Herbal Mo.
Herbal Mo.
Yeah.
Mo. How are we doing, everybody?
Very good.
I need some positive,
It's
you know,
very good. I mean,
affirmations.
you guys are doing incredible.
I know,
Very,
it's
very
just being
hopeful
silly. And we are out. 3, 2, 1, say peace.
Bye.
We're gonna say peace.
Oh, okay.
Peace! Wait. I'm gonna count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Peace!
Very good.
Yay!
That's so good.
Nice.
Okay, let's just get a thumbnail.